Hey guys, welcome back here to part 2 of gun stippling. As you can see, I'm going to show you different patterns that I've done with the soldering iron. I don't know if you can see that well. I'm trying to put it under the light, but I guess my phone's in the way. This is the back strap. I kind of did like a weird, sort of like micro starburst type of pattern on the front. Right down in there on the front strap. Of course, it's not too straight because, well, I'm pretty fucking crooked and I can't, so one of those things that can't draw a straight line. Can't even shoot straight some days. Anyways, so that's kind of one of the patterns I've done with the regular soldering iron. Just kind of stippling it forward is what you can do. This one right here, I pay more attention to. I'm trying to get more detail. As you can see, I'm just following the edges, the natural pattern of the frame, and just kind of going along both of those sides. I did all my prep work. I talked about that in video 1, and now I'm just going to continue on. Now I'm going to try to have this phone kind of centered here, and I'm going to blab about why a stipple pattern may be something you want to do because you've got nothing else better to do, because it's maybe your quarantine is coronavirus COVID-19 or whatever. This may be a do-it-yourself project you can probably do at home. I started my first stipple job about 15 years ago. It was actually at deer camp. So that's the first time I did a stipple job, and it turned out pretty okay. Not super great. It was, well, I'll be truthful, it was kind of shitty. But man, I just kept at it, kept practicing, and eventually, I guess I got a little bit better at it. A little bit better. This dude right here is paying me like $100 to do his, so it's not world class by any means. People today, like, there's so much you can do today. Back in the day, all you could really do was, maybe if I raise this, all you could do back in the day was hand stipple with a wood burner or a soldering iron like this one. But today, there's so many companies, they'll let you do it what the hell do they call those? 3D, not laser printer, no, not laser printers. Fuck, laser engravers. And they charge a stupid ass amount of money. I was talking in the last edited video, like, the worst job I'd ever seen was from, I think, Zev. Worst job I would never pay for was like from Zev. It was like, $300 or something stupid with a 6-week back order time, and it just looked like dog shit. Anyways, guess you got the cool name behind it. Nothing against Zev, it's just, god dang, $300, 6-week back time, and you let a machine do it, and it still looks like asshole. Not even good-looking asshole, more like a one filled with hemorrhoids or some shit. Anyways, digressing. So if you can tell right here, I start stippling on one side and I'll flip it over, and I'll like go on the other side. And the reason why I do that is I kind of let that plastic kind of cool around, and that's why you'll see me bounce around that, and I don't follow any real patterns other than staying within the lines. Once I go in the middle, I kind of go to town and just start pressing that hot iron up onto the plastic. All right. So I don't try to go rows, like I don't try to do corn rows or anything weird like that. I just go for it. And the reason why I do that is because over the years I just realized, like, at least for me, I can't hold that straight line to save my life. So I was just like, screw it, fuck it, just go. And that's what I do. The only time I try to hold that straight line is on the borders. And I mentioned this before, but try to follow the natural edges of the plastic, of the polymer that you're working with. Okay, so as you can see, I followed that line right there. I didn't stray from it too far. Okay. I also change up the angles. I rotate the frame so I can see it in a different light. And you get a different angle on the press, because not our hand usually is angled. It's not like a sewing machine. Do sewing machines do that? I guess they do. Anyways, so when I press the metal on the plastic, press on the flesh, so to speak, I'm just getting enough of that bite in there to essentially deform the frame enough. Now, once those sides, again, once it gets hot, it'll raise. So kind of keep that in mind as you pull the iron away. Every now and then, I'll have to clean the tip. I'll just wipe it on this wooden table right here and just kind of wipe off the excess plastic. This glock right here, you can actually press it in pretty deep before you really, like, can go through the frame. But take this from me, I've done that a couple of times because I was an idiot. And I just kept pressing and pressing, boom. Before you know it, I had a third P hole in this damn Glock frame. Not this one. This one's going to hopefully be cool. So just kind of pay attention to what the hell you're doing. It's you need patience. Some people need beer. My buddy Hayes, he would need some beer. And this right here, you need like a surgeon's precision, and you need a good set of eyes that can stay focused. So you can really press that plastic and get a good concentric pattern that, hopefully looks good, or at least looks presentable, and not like, you woke up 2 a.m. and all depressed and got drunk and decided to stipple your gun. So why would you stipple your gun besides it being 2 a.m. and you're drunk and depressed? Because your old lady left you. Well, I'm glad you asked. So some people like that extra traction because it increases surface area on a gun. I know it's smooth, Calvin. If you kept the fucking regular ones on there, it would be, full of traction. Look, the dude's paying me $100. Anyways, digressing is you can get that extra traction when it's wet, or when you got blood on your hands, or you have oil, or it's slick, sweat, etc. You can get that extra surface area to really bite down on a good grip with your hand. It will not replace shitty fundamentals. So if you don't know how to grip a pistol well for recoil management, this will not really compensate for that. Okay, it's like wearing awesome running shoes and you can't run. So, anyways, digressing. And you're Asian. Asians don't run. I don't know if anybody noticed that. So, again, stippling. Some people just do it because of the style. In which case, I know some people, they do some by hand, can do some really cool patterns. I am not that person. I'm not an artist. So, just kind of keep that in mind. Overall, though, just again, be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. It was probably built in 2 days. You will hopefully get this done within maybe an hour or two. Plus your prep work. Okay, prep work is a lot of it. Another thing is when you press into the plastic, try to go at the angle that you want it to kind of conform to, because a lot of people just do this and it becomes like really burrowed in there. This guy's pretty specific. He wanted it to be like a SpongeBob pattern. I call it a SpongeBob pattern. It's just a bunch of circles. It's probably the most common one because it's the easiest one to do and it's the least likely one to fuck up. The most problematic with it, though, is it takes the longest because you got that little small hole right there versus like streaking across it and burning a lot more surface area at one go. All right. What else? The shape of the holes and the size is going to be dependent on how deep you push in. So kind of keep that in mind when you do the soldering iron thingy. All right. So that's that top part right there. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Pardon myself a little bit. Yeah, I put a little rubber tip right there. So anyways, just kind of going over it. You got nothing else to do, take some time, stipple your guns, nothing wrong with that. All right. And just keep working at it. Two other things I forgot to mention is different plastics react differently. Example is, I'm going to press this one. You've seen me do that, and I press this one. You see how I barely nudged that, and that's the same, like 2 seconds. I've tried it on Kel-Tecs, XDs, MMPs, Glocks, of course, and all the plastics kind of react at a different time. So make sure that you test that time first, because if you see me hold it like for maybe 1.5 seconds here, it may take like half a second on a different plastic. Also, if the plastic has got like a colored frame, like a gray frame, I remember this on a Kel-Tec because the dude stared at me like, why is it black? I'm like, because I burned it with a soldering iron. The plastic would change color. So no guarantees on non all colored, like, don't do it on Cerakote guns because it will change it to black probably. Anyways, or whatever the original dye color of the mold was. So materials is important. Know its reaction time under that heat. And don't press it too hard. You can always press harder later, but you can't unfuck something that you took material off of. That goes for grinding, dremeling, and soldering. So kind of pay attention to that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. That's part 2 of just some thoughts on stippling and why I would do it. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.